Hello loonies and normals, my name is Joe Silver, welcome to my channel. This week we're going to be talking about our gaming conventions and things such as E3. Just one big trailer. What I mean by that is, right, is you get trailers on places like Twitch and so on, right? They show you what video games are coming up, and quite frankly, although I've talked a little bit about this before, sometimes you get a bit sick of seeing the same advert over and over again, right? But my question is, are not gaming conventions just the same thing, just one big advert for video games? Because you get things like E3, right? And you get E3 and it says, right, in the future we've got this one coming up, we've got this one coming up, this one coming up, this one coming up, and this one. And they talk about video games, and they get the devs in and they talk about the video game, all about their video game, and they say, right, well, the game will have this in it, it'll have that in it, it'll have the other in it, and it'll do this, it'll do that, it'll do the other. And then they move on and they start with another one then, and they say, right, well, it's going to be this, it's going to be this, it's going to be this. And what I'm saying is that basically what they're doing is giving you this huge long advert for all the video games that are coming out. And my thing is, wouldn't it be great, instead of making them just a huge advert, if they made video game conventions include games that are already out? Yes, you could say, well, isn't that just advertising games that are already out? Yes, but hear me out. Here's my logic, right? What I was thinking is, for example, is you could make it so that they include those. They put displays down and they have games that are already out. I think some gaming conventions do. And then but then they could have the developers of those games come to the convention, and people could talk to them and could say, well, do you know, I think you should do this with that. I think you should provide an update for this game because I've noticed this bug, I've noticed that bug, I've noticed the other bug. I think you should provide an update and fix it this way or that way, and sort of have a reasonable discussion with them. I don't mean people going up and saying, I think you should include unicorns in your game, when the game's inclusion of unicorns would make absolutely no sense. I'm talking about, you know, logical discussions like for example, some of the bugs in Portal, or some of the bugs in other games that we've seen and love so much, you know, and say to them, look, you know, actually that we've noticed this, we've noticed that, and have a sort of reasonable back and forth with them. And yeah, because then it would become more a community thing, where the community is contributing to the game. Whereas, as far as I know, don't get me wrong, I've never actually been to a gaming convention, and maybe that's a bad footing to have this vlog on, but you know, from what I've heard and from what little I've seen, they tend to be just the new games that are coming out, and it just tends to be, as I said, a huge advert for video games. So we're saying, wouldn't it be better to do it like that, to have where you get a chance to talk to the devs of old games, and you get a chance to say to them, well, actually this and this needs fixing, and you can sort of talk a bit like that about them, and about, you know, get an idea of what you could do to make the game better. It also might help when it comes to those multiplayer games, because just a lot of the times you get people who play multi-games and they find little hacks or little cheats, and you could say to the devs, well, actually I was playing a match on there and somebody did this or that, the other. Wouldn't it be better to fix it by doing this or this? And so that you could get rid of those, so that they get that game feel more fair then, because then there wouldn't be all the hacks and the cheats, so that, because there'd be a way around to stopping them. I mean, we know that hacks and cheaters will always find some way, they always do, but you get my point. And as I said, I've never been to one, and I would love to go to one, but it's just one idea anyway that I feel would make it better. Because like I said, at the end of the day, right now, things like E3 are just big advertisements, and we get plenty of those on Twitch. So you could just as easily wait for the adverts to come out on Twitch and watch them on Twitch. I mean, it's not like you don't see them often enough anyway. Every stream you go to these days seems to have an advert before you start. You know, one time it was only affiliates and partner streamers who you got a pre-roll advert. These days, everyone, including non-partnered and non-affiliated streamers, everyone, an ad, and it says this ad supports Twitch, or this ad keeps the Twitch servers going. And I'm not complaining, and I understand why they need them, I understand that, but it does get a bit irritating when it's the same one over and over again. And like I said in the past, I've done a little bit of talk on that, about how I think they should make the more variety so that it's not the same one over and over again. But you get my point. E3 is just a massive version of that. It's just a massive version of that. People just saying, this is what's coming out, this is all new and shiny, you know. And could it be less of that if they had sessions where they spoke to devs? Now, I don't know, maybe they already do. Maybe this is something that they do already, and I'm just saying what they already do. But this is just my opinion on gaming conventions. I mean, to be honest with you, I found that as well that like things like Comic-Con, which I know involves a lot of cosplay, but I think that's got a big game base as well, hasn't it? I've found a lot of them are probably just good fun events, and like I said, I would love to go to one, but there are none round near me, and you know, it would be really nice. But yeah, you know, like I say, it's I mean, at the end of the day, you know, because I'm starting to ramble now, at the end of the day, there are a lot of things that could be done and should be done and would be done. That's how it is. But wouldn't it be nice, just as I said, just as an idea, to invite some old games devs in and say, well, actually, you know, and I'll tell you something else as well. You know, Abandonware, the new to something, games that perhaps aren't being worked on anymore. Maybe you could invite one or two of the devs from that, and they could have a session with them and say, well, look, and ask them in a tactful, polite way, of course, why did you abandon it? Why did you stop working on it? We really wanted you to finish this game. And they could encourage them to finish it. Maybe if it was a funding problem, they could find a way to get part of the proceeds of the convention to go to them so that they could finish the game. So that then they're not, you know, or they could start a thing where if you want to play them to finish the game, you have to give a small amount of money so that they can actually get the money together to work on the game. So thus encouraging them to finish these unfinished games that always get abandoned. The ones that come out on early access and then never come out of early access because they got abandoned. You know? Perhaps you could do that as well. And thus make gaming conventions more of a community thing, more about community contributing and less about just advertising video games. Because I mean, at the end of the day, yes, they're going to advertise their new video games there, that's obvious. But again, you see my point, that they could be doing it one way instead of another. Anyway, I have been rambling on enough. You hear my opinion on some of the improvements I think that they should do in gaming conventions, and maybe they do some of these already, let me know. But anyway, if you like what you've seen here, please leave me a like and a comment and a sub. And if you have any ideas for what you want to see me talk about next week, feel free to leave those in the comments down below. Also, if you have any comments about gaming conventions you've been to, or what they do or don't do at gaming conventions, leave those in the comment section down below as well, because I always love it when people give feedback on my vlogs and give me, and we almost start a discussion on because of a vlog. I love that. That shows that people are actually watching and actually paying attention. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I have been Joe Silver. This has been a vlog. Goodbye.